Hi everyone. In the last class, we have already discussed about the propagation of errors or the combination of errors, and we have discussed about the calculations such as addition and subtraction. Now in this class, we will be dealing with the multiplication and division. So the combination of errors in multiplication and division. So let's start today's class. Just imagine we are going to deal with the operation that is a multiplication. Just imagine Z is the final result. So Z is equal to A into B. That means we are going to multiply two physical quantity. So definitely while we are using these two physical quantities, chance for error in A will be the, chance for error in B will be the, right? So definitely there will be a total error, absolute error in the final result. So how to handle these absolute errors in the final result, that's what we are going to discuss today. Okay. Now just imagine Z is equal to A into B. So I can write this equation as Z plus or minus delta Z. That means final result, and this is the plus or minus absolute error in that final result, is equal to, now what is A? A is the one of the physical quantity. So I can write here A plus or minus delta A. That means error in the A. Correct? Into B plus or minus delta B. That is the B is the measured value and plus or minus delta B is the absolute error in the measurement of B. So how you can write this one? Now you multiply these quantities. So we can write here Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to, now multiply here. So we can say here A into B, A into B. Now A into plus or minus delta B. So we can write the plus or minus A into delta B. Next one, plus or minus delta A into B. So we can write the plus or minus B into delta A. The last one is plus or minus delta A into plus or minus delta B. So plus or minus delta A into delta B. Now divide the whole equation. Divide the whole equation by Z. So what we'll be getting here? Divide this one. So divide by Z, divide by Z, divide by Z. Z means what? AB. Z is equal to A into B. Divide by Z. Z is equal to AB. Here also Z is equal to AB. Here also Z is equal to AB. So I can write like this. Z, Z cancel. AB, AB cancel. A cancel. B cancel. Nothing else. So I can write this equation as 1 plus or minus delta Z by Z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta B by B plus or minus delta A by A. Now plus or minus delta A by A into delta B by B. Alright. Now you can write here, if you take this one to right side or if you take this one to left side, this one will cancel. So and next value, just think about this value. Delta A by A into delta B by B can be neglected because this value is too small. So delta A is absolute error, A is the original value. Just imagine this value is 0.01 and delta B by B also 0.01. It's an example only. If you multiply this one, you will be getting 0.0001. That means this value can be neglected. Therefore, you can write this equation as delta Z divided by Z is equal to plus or minus delta A by A plus or minus delta B divided by B. Correct? So what is this equation become? This is a relative error in the final result. This is a relative error in the A value. This is a relative error in the B value. Correct? So what is the error combination in delta Z or delta Z by Z? What are the error combinations? So we can write here the combination. First one, plus delta A by A plus delta B by B. This is the first one. Next one, plus delta A by A. Next one is minus delta B by B. This is the second combination. Third combination, minus delta A by A plus delta B by B. That is the next combination. Last one, minus delta A by A. Next one, minus delta B by B. So among these four combination of errors, which is the maximum possible error? Which is the maximum possible error? So no doubt in that, you can see here the first one is having maximum possible error. So what is the conclusion we are making here? Delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. So what we are making conclusion here, the maximum possible relative error in the final result when you are doing the calculation as multiplication is the sum of the relative error in first measurement and the relative error in the second measurement. Okay, so sum of the relative error in A and B will be the final result error. So delta Z by Z. So this is the maximum possible relative error while you are doing the operation such as multiplication. You can also write this one in terms of percentage error. So if you are writing in percentage error, you can write the delta Z by Z into 100 is equal to delta A by A into 100 plus delta B by B into 100. So this is a way to write what? Percentage error. What is that? Percentage error. So once again, what is the conclusion here? The maximum percentage error in the final result is the sum of the percentage error in A and the percentage error in B. So this is the multiplication process or the combination of error in multiplication. Now let's do the another mathematical operation, that is division. Just imagine Z is equal to A divided by B. Now we are going to divide the two physical quantities. So definitely this is a physical quantity A and B. There is a chance for error in A and B because we are measuring with the instrument. So what is the maximum possible error in the final result? That's what we are going to discuss now. So for that, we are writing here Z plus or minus delta Z. That is final result. In the final result, there is a chance for absolute error plus or minus delta Z is equal to A. A can be written as A plus or minus delta A. That means error in A. Divided by B plus or minus delta B. So we wrote the A and B. You can write in bracket. So A plus or minus delta A divided by B plus or minus delta B. Now we are writing here. Therefore, we can write Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to. Now you imagine from the first one, that is the numerator, take the A outside. If you take the A outside, I can write this equation as A into 1 plus or minus delta A by A. That means you are taking A outside. So here there is no A, so we can write divided by A. Divide by, what is next one? Take the B outside. If you take the b outside, b into 1 plus or minus delta b divided by b. Clear? Why we are writing like this? Because a by b equal to z. A by b equal to z. So now to make that a by b, we are writing this one. So we can write this equation as z plus or minus delta z is equal to, see, a divided by b. I can write it as z. Now what is the numerator? 1 plus or minus delta a divided by a. Bracket close. Take the denominator into numerator. So I can write this equation as 1 plus or minus delta b divided by b, that is in the denominator. If you take in the numerator, it becomes what? Raised to minus 1. Raised to minus 1. Now divide the whole equation by z. If you divide this equation by z, what is the answer become? I just divide by z here, here divide by z, here also divide by z. So here only one z is enough because this is one quantity, right? So z cancel, here z cancel. So I can write this equation as 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta a by a, delta a by a, and here 1 plus or minus delta b by b all to the power minus 1. Now what do you have to do here? You have to multiply this one. Just before multiply, you see this part. Here what we are using here, binomial theorem. What is that? Binomial theorem we are using in this case. So what is meant by binomial theorem? 1 plus x all to the power n is equal to 1 plus n into x. Okay? 1 plus x to the power n is equal to 1 plus n into x. The actual formula is here 1 plus x to the power n is equal to 1 plus nx divided by 1 factorial plus n into n minus 1 into x square by 2 factorial, etc. So that term we are not using here because that terms are negligible. So only we are using this term. So I can write this equation as, see this one, 1 plus or minus delta b by b all to the power minus 1. That means instead of n, that is minus 1. Multiply and write this equation 1. Now plus, so here it is plus or minus, right? You are multiplying with the n is means what? Minus 1. If you multiply here, it become plus into minus, minus, minus into minus, it become plus delta b by b. So once again you see this equation, 1 plus or minus delta b by b raised to minus 1 means 1 plus or minus minus 1 you have to multiply, minus 1 into delta b by b. If you multiply this minus, plus become minus, minus minus, it become plus. So this is the using binomial theorem we can write like this. What is that? Using binomial theorem. Now substitute this equation here. So I can write here 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta a by a into 1 minus or plus delta b by b. See this equation over here. Therefore, 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to, you multiply now here 1 into 1, 1 into this value, minus or plus delta b by b. Next one, delta a by a into 1. So plus or minus delta a by a. Next one, plus into minus, minus, minus into plus, plus delta a by a into delta b by b. So here we can also write minus or plus or plus or minus. So there is no problem with writing minus or plus or minus, because this term can be neglected. Okay, this term can be neglected because these two values, if you multiply, the value become too small, so this term can be neglected. And here this is 1 here, and here is also 1. If you take into one side, the 1 will also cancel. So what is the final equation? Plus or minus delta z by z is equal to, you see, plus or minus delta a by a, now minus or plus delta b by b. Now you see this one. Now we are going to write here what are the possible combination of errors in the delta z by z. Where what is meant by delta z by z? It is a relative error. What is that? Relative error in the final value. What is delta a by a? That is a relative error in the measurement of a. Now what is delta b by b? That is a relative error in the measurement of b. Now what are the possible error combination? So in this one we can write the first one, plus delta a by a minus delta b by b. This is the first combination. Next one, plus delta a by a plus delta b by b. Next combination of error, possible error combination, minus delta a by a minus delta b by b. What is the next one? Minus delta a by a plus delta b by b. Clear? So among this combination, which one is the maximum possible error? So no doubt in that this is the maximum possible error. So we can conclude here, the maximum possible error in the final result is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. So what is the conclusion here? The maximum relative error in the final result is the sum of the relative error in a and b. So once again we can conclude here, whether it is multiplication or division we are doing, how you will deal with the errors in that measurement. So what is the conclusion here? Whether it is multiplication or division, the maximum relative error in the measurement is the sum of the relative error in the individual measurements. So this is the conclusion about what? The relative error concept in the mathematical operations such as multiplication as well as division. Here we can also write the percentage error. If you multiply here 100, here also 100, here also you multiply with 100. So we can conclude that maximum possible percentage error in the final result is the sum of the percentage error in the individual measurements, or maximum possible percentage error is the sum of the percentage error in A and B. So this is the way to deal with the errors in the final result. So now we have concluded addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In addition and subtraction, what we will be dealing with, that error must be added in the final result. Our maximum possible error is the sum of the errors in the individual measurement. Here maximum possible relative error is the sum of the relative error in the individual measurements. I hope it is clear. Now let's do one example question. So you can read the question here. A capacitor of capacitance C equal to 2 plus or minus 0.1 microfarad, that is a unit of capacitance, is charged to a voltage V is equal to 20 plus or minus 0.2 volt. Volt is the unit of voltage or potential difference. What is the charge Q? What is the charge Q, capital letter Q, on capacitor? So if you don't know the formula, it is given in the question. Use Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV. So just to compare with what we have discussed, Z is equal to A into B, right? So same way we can write this equation as Q is equal to CV. So what is the error, relative error in the final result? I can write here delta Q by Q is equal to delta C by C plus delta V by B. This is the error here. What is that? The relative error in the final value is a sum of the relative error of capacitor or capacitance and the relative error of voltage. So first of all, we will calculate here what is the Q is equal to. What is the total charge Q is equal to? Total charge Q is equal to C into V. What is the C value here? C here 2 microfarad. 2 into microfarad means what? 10 to the power minus 6. We have learned that one. 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 into, now what is a V here? V is equal to what? 20 volt. So don't take the error now here. We are calculating only the final result. So we got the final result. Q is equal to 40 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. Is that? Unit of charge is coulomb. You already know that one. So we got the final result Q is equal to 40 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. Now we have to calculate here what is the relative error as well as the percentage error. So if you write the percentage error, you can write here delta Q by Q into 100 is equal to delta C by C into 100 plus delta V by V into 100. Okay. So now you have to write here what is the percentage error in the final result. So what is the delta C? Absolute error in the capacitance is given there. Look at the value here, capacitance absolute error 0.1. So you can write this equation as 0.1 divided by, what is the capacitance value? That is equal to 2. That is equal to 2 into 100 plus, now what is the error in V? Error in V is what? 0.2. 0.2 divided by, what is original value? 20 into 100. Now you calculate this value, what we are getting the final value? 0.1 divided by 2 into 100. What is the answer? You calculate. You will be getting the answer as, this is 5% plus this is 1%. That is equal to 6%. So how you can quote this value? So charge Q is equal to, what is the charge original value? 40 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb, right? Now what is the error here? Plus or minus 6%. Unit is what? Coulomb. Unit of the charge is equal to what? Coulomb. The final answer, Q is equal to 40 into 10 to the power minus 6. That means 40 micro coulomb plus or minus 6%. So if you want to calculate the 6% of 40, around it will come 2.4. So you can also write that one. So this is the quoted value. Q is equal to 40 micro coulomb plus or minus 6% of this value. Okay. I hope it is clear. So this is an example for multiplication. I hope you understood this one. Thank you all of you.